Wuhan, the first place to report COVID-19 cases in China, endured the ravages of the virus and had been called the origin of the pandemic in the past year. However, COVID-19's origin has not been scientifically proven. As origin tracing progresses, more speculations are emerging. This is Wuhan seafood market in Wuhan. Some of the earliest cases reported in China were linked to the market and had been once thought as the origin of the COVID-19 epidemic. But more evidence that emerged later showed that the market is more like a victim of the COVID-19 rather than the origin of the novel coronavirus that caused the pandemic. Since January 1, 2020, the market has been shut down. Even now, it is still surrounded by fences. Wet markets, bats and pangolins have all been speculated as the origin of the virus. But such speculations have not been confirmed by scientific research. According to a study published by Chinese researchers in the Lancet Medical Journal, the first person who was diagnosed to have COVID-19 had no contact with the market. New speculations have recently arisen as to whether the original virus in Wuhan was also imported through cold chain products. Since July, China has reported more than 40 positive results for COVID-19 on cold chain imports. Wuhan has also reported cases on imported beef. We visited other large markets in Wuhan and found that some aquatic product merchants from the Wuhan seafood market have moved to these markets.
就是之前有那个华南海鲜市场的也搬过来了。
全部都是华南过来。
您在这儿工作多少年了？对，没出过问题。
20多年，工厂那边经常检查，那些华南那边有家里面从来没有那个。
就是有没有就华南以前您作为有没有卖那个进口海鲜的？有啊。
中国一般都是进口，因为我们中国蛮干净的，外国搞不清楚。
A merchant said that a quarter of all merchants in Wuhan seafood market sold imported frozen products. We found from media reports that imported cold chain foods sold in Wuhan seafood market include king crabs and Arctic shellfish, as well as meat products from Brazil and Germany. In Dongxinhu district, where imported food volume accounts for 60 to 70% in the city, 95 of 365 cold storages had imported frozen food. We found that imported cold chain products are under strict supervision now to eliminate all risks.
就整个过程当中，核酸要做2道，第一个是批次核酸，第二个是渐进核酸。第二个消杀是入关要杀1次，海关的出库要杀1次，我们这边进要1次，然后我们这边发出又1次，门店进又1次，大概5次消杀。
When people knew nothing about the virus a year ago, mistakes and omissions easily occurred. As the traceability work progresses, more and more cases earlier than Wuhan have been found.
Case 0 is not always where your first cluster is. Case 0 can be, it's obviously before in time, but it may be in another place. So that's why you have to keep an open mind.
American researchers found coronavirus antibodies in blood samples from Deck 13. Also in the US, a mayor believes he contracted the coronavirus in November 2019 after testing positive for antibodies. In Brazil, researchers found the coronavirus in sewage water samples from November 27. In France, 2,500 chest scans showed that the first case can be dated back to as early as November 16, according to a French hospital. In Italy, blood samples showed coronavirus antibodies in September 2019. In Spain, researchers found the coronavirus in a sample of wastewater collected in March. Now, WHO is working with the scientists around the world on the origin tracing work, but facing difficulties.
And it does prove very, very difficult to find that initiation point where the disease crossed the animal-human species.
WHO also called for the work not to be politicized.
We need to know the origin of this virus. This is a technical issue, and I would like to say some have been politicizing this. So one thing we would like to advise is that please let's not politicize this.
Chinese scientists call for cooperation and information sharing in the traceability work.
去年12月份到今年12月份已经1年的时间了。那么这1年的时间来讲，从这个病原学啊，还包括它的这个流行病学啊，包括它的这个临床治疗啊，包括它的疫苗生产呐、就包括你刚才说到的这个溯源的工作，这个病毒从哪来啊，已经取得了很多进展。我们现在市场有很多苗头，就是在这个溯源的工作上有很多苗头。应该是进一步去做的，比如说里面大家现在形成了一个共识，这个病毒有可能就说你中国的这个武汉虽然首发病例在武汉，但是呢，也可能你在意大利也可能是先发，有可能还在南美的美洲啊，也可能更早。大家把这个溯源工作这边去做，形成一个共享机制的话，我觉得这不是很难。但是有一定的难度。
Neither the origin nor the intermediate host has been definitively concluded at present, and time is needed before a final conclusion is made.